DoD runs the largest computer network in all the globe. The network's critical to DoD for a variety of reasons. We use it for command and control. We can't execute without having the network there. We use it for basic logistics support. You can't move parts and materials without being able to work the internet and access the commodities that you need to do your job. Information is a critical commodity. My job is to defend the Navy portion of that computer network.
Our 24/7 watch is the nerve center of everything that comes in. We receive information from a variety of sources. We're looking for any types of anomalies or indications of warning of a computer network attack. We're looking for probing activity to see, precursors of somebody doing reconnaissance for possibly for a later attack or seeing attacks in progress, and looking for information that we can use to A, stop attacks that are in progress, or B, predict future attacks that we can, ideally stop them before they start.
We were discussing kind of where the future of network research and security was going and the problem we have with tracking incidents and hacking events and how it was pretty much a manual process, and we thought maybe there was a much better way to do this. Maybe, with the way the computer systems are coming up in power and capability, that maybe there was a way to somewhat automate this process and do it better than the current method, which was very manpower intensive and very paperwork intensive.
Alerts on top of alerts on top of alerts. It was getting to a data crush where the amount of people we had were only being able to spend anywhere between 2.5 and 4 seconds per alert. Obviously, that type of data crush, you can't get anything out of that.
It's like watching a road with cars going by it. 10 years ago, we were watching 10, 20 cars go by a road, and you could actually do this in a manual process. But nowadays, technology is now talking about millions of cars on the road, and so we had an old system which was literally back to trying to watch individual cars go on the road with a human being, and we could no longer do that.
How do you wade through all of that data and make sense of it all? Clearly, a man in the loop is not going to be able to do it. They knew we needed tools, capability, technology that was going to be able to give us essentially the power to know what's out there and help us make informed decisions as to where we need to focus our assets, where we continue to have vulnerabilities, and allow us to prepare for the future.
So when we implemented the Mobius solution, it took care of a lot of those issues.
We take data from all portions of the globe and try to aggregate it together and use various tools such as those provided by SAS and others to provide defense in depth.
I think in terms of what we expected to get from the product and what we're actually seeing from the product now, the results have been spectacular.
Our speed of handling incidents has increased dramatically. The Mobius solution has given us that ability to really dig deep into it and then produce customized filters. When you say detect a trend on the back end, you can now put it into the front end and say, oh, by the way, trigger it if you see this type of activity. It's night and day. It is a completely different way of doing business.
It's been a huge success, but it's opened up so many more doors that are much larger, allowing us to tackle the much bigger problems that are ahead of us in the future.
Navy network's under attack every day. They have to be defended. If they're compromised, the warfighter will not have the capability to execute the missions that he's been given. In many cases, he won't have alternatives to consider. We can take the fight to the enemy in the cyber domain, or we can choose to go kinetic and take the fight to the enemy on the seas, above the seas, or under the seas. The warfighter has options with IT that he doesn't have if it's not there for him. Navy's drawing down in manpower. It's not going to grow. We're only going to continue to shrink in terms of force. What does that mean? More data to analyze, less people. You do the math. It's not that hard. There better be some capability there that's going to give me the answer that I need to resource myself, continue to protect Navy networks, and to fight them in real time.